1 year after all of this began, China is back to where it started. Barely a week after Xi Jinping claimed victory over the Wuhan virus, China is reporting its biggest rise in daily cases. There is a new outbreak in Hebei, the same province that is home to Wuhan. A new lockdown has now been announced. Our next report tells you more.
On the last day of 2020, Chinese President Xi Jinping took a victory lap. Sitting behind his desk in Beijing, he declared that China had secured a decisive victory over the pandemic.
2020 is an extraordinary year. Facing the sudden outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic, we placed people and their lives at the top priority and achieved the great love of humanity. With solidarity and perseverance, we wrote the epic of our fight against the pandemic.
He spoke too soon. The Wuhan virus is still spreading in China. The province of Hebei is reporting another outbreak. On Wednesday, it had 120 new cases. Thursday saw another rise, China's biggest in 5 months. The province has reintroduced lockdown measures. Rail, air and highway routes to Shijiazhuang are now shut. This is the capital of Hebei and around 10 hours away from Wuhan, the original epicenter of this pandemic. Health officials are carrying out mass testing in the city. According to the local media, more than 6 million people have been tested so far. The new cases are the first locally transmitted infections since June, and health officials expect the numbers to rise. The authorities have pressed the panic button. Mass disinfection drives have begun, with residents facing strict checks.
We disinfect all the residential buildings 3 times a day, including elevators, walls and public places such as parks.
For residents in this community, they need to show their access cards and health codes. Visitors coming here must register, show the health code and take temperature measurement for entry. They are required to write down their address, name and purpose of visit.
The latest outbreak busts Xi Jinping's claim of normalcy. With his speech on New Year's Eve, the Chinese president tried to push a new narrative. He wanted the world to see China not as the exporter of the virus, but as the conqueror of the pandemic. That's not happening though. China has been called out again for its lapses. The latest on its list of critics is America's top infectious disease expert, Anthony Fauci. In an interview, Dr. Fauci said China's lack of transparency allowed the virus to spread. He blamed China for delay in reporting person-to-person and asymptomatic transmissions. He said many people outside China got fooled because of the initial assessment. He also slammed Beijing for not allowing foreign scientists to investigate the outbreak. This comes just a day after WHO chief Dr. Tedros also accused China of blocking the probe. China is yet to grant visas to UN investigators who are probing the origins of the Wuhan virus. A year after the outbreak started in Wuhan, the world still doesn't know how the pandemic began. And China still refuses to offer answers. Another lockdown in China is proof of how much it hides from the world and from its own people. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.